to tiny boxes. I'll share for 1 minute and then
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
take it
trying to put it in and it's not letting me put it in the link and it's driving me bananas. Sorry.
That's fine. We'll manage it. All right, so let me just get this box out. Okay, yeah, now we're having an issue. So I'm gonna download this while Sara talks, but it's a guidance from AFC, Advocates for Children, on how to sign up to testify for the 30th and tips on testifying. So it's a 3-page document and it'll give you everything you need to know about how to participate. I'll try to download it and drop it in the chat. Back to Sara.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to thank all of the 177 that are still hanging in there. But as we've said, we want transit equity for our students with and without disabilities. So this section is about 2 parts of that: the way the busing is run, who gets to govern it and make those policies. And that's what PIST calls the School Bus Bill of Rights campaign, but also the OMNY. So these great get you everywhere, enrich your life, visit, learn from New York City are being given to students who don't have the bus, but a lot, or who actually who don't have the yellow bus, either because they take the train, but it's also not given to the kids who walk to school. So I think we have, I'm getting a little out of order, my fault. We have first to introduce to the Bill of Rights. The New York City Public Advocate sent a recording. Let's just make sure he's not actually here to do it live before I start to share that.
I don't see him. I just did a search.
Okay. Is it possible for somebody else who also has received that to do the actual sharing? I have it right here, I can do it, but I think it's important for folks to hear this. All right. And
while Sarah's pulling that up, if you check in the chat, the AFC guidance is there for testifying as the PDF. So you just click on it, it'll pop open, and it'll give you all the information and some helpful links.
okay, and play.
Sarah, turn off
Peace
your
and
camera.
blessings, everyone. Love and light to you all. Thank you to Parents to Improve School Transportation, the organization with the best acronym in the city, and the many parent advocates for allowing me to talk about these important central issues in our school. As I've shared before, the inequities and inadequacies in our educational system, which existed prior to the pandemic and have been exacerbated by it, also extend our buses. Shortages of staffing, length of rides, unbearable temperatures, outdated vehicles that pollute the air, and overcrowding are persistent issues which disproportionately harm communities of more color and students with disabilities, causing them to miss class time. The changes families are asking for are reasonable, including proactive communication in all home languages about route information, delays, and resolution of conflicts. The city must work to hire and train more staff at fair wages, develop shorter routes, and provide transparency and accountability throughout these processes. This is not just a matter of transportation justice, it is environmental justice, it is disability justice, it is educational justice. Together, we can ensure that our communities have the resources, and I thank the advocates here today for dreaming up and working on a busing Bill of Rights they not only need, but that we know they deserve. Safety is another factor that is significant when it comes to issues around buses in schools. Currently, there's a proposal in the State Senate Education Committee for a law to limit how long students with disabilities can be transported. with a maximum length of 90 minutes in each direction. This would help improve the transportation for children with disabilities. It's also good to make sure you know the facts on different proposals so you can decide how you'd like your representative to vote.
Sarah, I'm sorry, can you unmute yourself so that we can hear the sound and just go back 10 seconds?
Join us. Again, these asks are reasonable.
You want me to? Okay.
It's perfect. We only missed like 5 seconds.
This would help improve the transportation for children with disabilities. It's also good to make sure you know the facts on different proposals so you can decide how you'd like your representative to vote. We also need to hire more buses, drivers, paras, and matrons, and can do so by offering incentives such as better working conditions to keep the great workers we have and to gain more workers to join us. Again, these asks are reasonable and need to be considered in order to fix the inequities we have within our system. If we work together, we can get this done and help eradicate these inequities within our education system. From the school building to the buses, it's all connected. And with these improvements, we will improve the reliability of transportation for students citywide. Thank you. Peace.
Was everybody able to hear that?
Yep.
And so a lot of the demands that Public Advocate Williams raised were from things that parents and school bus workers have put our heads together to say would be better policies. But what we have to do as activists in order to be in a position to make those decisions is that we want to fight for a school bus bill of rights. The decisions would come out better if it was reflective of the people who experience these policies, and that is the disability community, the parents, the riders, the workers, and the educators who receive them at the end. We're going to share a card with, I guess I'll just do it. Well, I'll do it in a moment, but we will point you to a couple of things by the end of this segment. One would be a video with ASL with the points in the School Bus Bill of Rights, and the other would be the list of the PIST, leading you to the calendar for meetings that we will have, which will be join PIST, come in, ask questions about your situation, but also brainstorm how to help make this a mass campaign in the city. Because in order to change something like that, you have to get a lot of signatures from registered voters. We have to do a lot of translating. This was raised also in the chat. Our materials that people worked on are still only accessed by people who read in the languages that we have them. We clearly need more American Sign Language materials and everything else. So that will be posted for you to capture the QR code, and anything that we have up there is also a link that can also go into the chat or be sent to you at the end of, this event when we send follow-up information. I would say very importantly though, to click on subscribe to PIST, make sure we have your information in case you entered directly into this meeting without registering. We don't want to lose track of all of these energetic And clearly you're good fighters because you're here on a Friday night trying to figure out how to make the future and the present better for not just your children, but all of them. I'm going to turn it over to Fatima Prelo to start us off about the OMNY. Is Fatima available?
Hi, Fatima. My name is Fatima Pilo. I am the mom of a young lady in District 75 who rides the school bus and who holds the school bus since she was in PIST. But the point is that the omnibus has come out. The mayor has come out with, really bragging about all that Omni has to offer. Unfortunately, the mayor forgot about students with special needs who ride the yellow school bus, or any student who rides the school bus. They're not eligible for Omni. And I thought that was quite strange that he made such a big thing about how this is going to be great for all students when a significant population was left out. There is no excuse that, oh, we forgot about it. Oh, wow, we got to make that up the next time. We got to figure this out. It can't continue to be this way that the students who use these services are forgotten about when we are making policy decisions that impact the entire school. So, my child deserves to have Omni like every other child. She goes to District 75. She's in high school. She goes to events on the weekend. She does things outside of school. And for them to just forget about her as if she did not exist was disrespectful to her agency, to us as a family. And I think it's important that every parent who child rides the yellow school bus speak up and let their voices be heard, that our children matter, that our children deserve the rights of all children, because you can't have equity without access. You can't have equity without parity. And the fact that, here we go again, the discrimination of the students with disability who ride the school bus is happening one more time. Remember that the civil rights action that occurred during the 60s was sparked through busing. And we have to continue to make sure that all have the same rights as everyone else. Again, American with Disabilities Act falls under the Civil Rights Act. And we have to make sure that we participate in the civil rights complaint, and that we have the bus bill of rights, and that we have the same rights of all students, because our children are that part of that all. And we cannot continue to allow our children to be left out when they say the word all, because you're trying to subliminally say something about our children. If we're not part of the all, then where do we belong? We belong with the all. And so if all students are getting Omni, the students who ride the school bus should have access to Omni card over the weekend or when they're outside of school. Take away those 10 bus rides that they have with the school bus and allow them to participate like all students are. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. I think we're all trying very hard to man the chat and look for the links and post any last flyers and QR codes for you. I'm going to pass it back to Sarah. I'm gonna pass it back to Sarah, but I just wanted to state as a just point of order, right? Not point of order, but point of interest, right? Is that Omni, it doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna give you the reasoning just so that we have the reason. Students with disabilities that take the bus are not eligible for Omni because Omni is for transportation to school. So because they have a bus that takes them to school, they are not eligible for Omni. To be clear, some of our issues with this is that our students don't get transportation to and from after school program. They don't get transportation to and from Saturday school, Saturday programs, credit recovery. Even Regents exams are difficult, but we're not going to go there because that's not what we're talking about. But the point is, if the thinking is, if New York City Public Schools is already paying for the student to have a way to get to school, they should not pay a second time for a second way for the student to get to school when they're going to get to school on the bus and they're going to be taken back to their home after school. The issue is access to programs, access to weekends, access to anything extracurricular that is paid for with our tax dollars and our school budgets, which our students are supposed to be centered in, not some students, all students. And so this is the issue that some of us have. Just for context, for those that may not really know what's going on, or you just heard about the Omni switch, this is the issue. And the older your students get and the more access you want to programs, the more you will understand the frustration of the bus is not enough. It doesn't even come every day. So I just want to clarify what Omni is all about, what the rules are, and why certain students are not included. I'm going to pass it back to Sara now. Thank you.
Okay, and we have a representative from the Citywide Council on Special Education. I believe Heather Daly is the one who's here to express what they've been doing around the Omni on their level and a couple other points. Are you ready, Heather?
Yeah, sure. I actually don't have any thing to share on my screen, but I just want to let folks know we had our Citywide Council on Special Education calendar and business meeting yesterday, and we presented a resolution on the student Omni card. And we believe that the eligibility requirements that are in the Chancellor's Reg are discriminatory against students with disabilities. The Omni card is not the same as a student Metro card. The student Metro card had 3 rides and it shut off at 8 p.m. and it was only on school days. And the Omni card allows the students to have 4 rides, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And our students, I know the school bus is not going to pick up my kid to take him to the aquarium for a summer learning experience with my family, right? They're not going to do that, right? So, but a student who has an Omni card will be able to do that. So we believe that the regulation that states that they can't have both is discriminatory. So we signed this resolution. I also want to highlight that, it's being, the chancellor at our own town hall last year stated that we live in this beautiful city with cultural institutions. Our learning for our students should go outside the classroom and into the streets in New York and into these amazing cultural programs and historical places in the city. But if you deny our students the Omni card, they don't have the same access to explore and learn in our city. We also know that they also credited the student Omni card as being an economic benefit to working families in New York. And our parents that end up taking their kids to school are waiting a year or more for reimbursement, for some folks, thousands of dollars. So the whole entire thing is discriminatory. So the CCSE passed the resolution. I don't have it tonight because it has to be put on letterhead and everything. We just passed it last night. But it'll be posted and we'll blast it out to our listserv. And then our follow-up is going to be a push to the PEP to make revisions to the Chancellor's regulation. The Chancellor's reg on transportation and busing hasn't been updated since the year 2000. It is archaic. It is out of date. It is discriminatory and inequitable. And we believe that revision needs to happen to take out the discriminatory policies in the regulations. So that's where the CCSE is on all of that. So look forward to what we're gonna push through. And we also, the citywide, we represent any child with an IEP. So that also includes our students in non-public schools, charter schools, private schools, any child with an IEP. And we believe all of those students should have access to the MetroCard, regardless of their disability status, regardless of how close or far they live from the school. Thank you. Oh, Sarah, did you want me to talk briefly about the form for OCR going, kind of taking a step back?
Yeah, let's give people a heads up about it, and we'll add it to the original website post we shared earlier.
Yeah. So we're in the process of, Paulette spoke about the team of lawyers from NLAG, and Tara is also here. I have COVID brain, so I can't remember all the names of there's 3 legal advocacy groups that help put the complaint together. And like Paulette stated, we really need more stories to show OCR how this continues to persist and affect families in a significant way. And so the CCSE is working with them to develop a form that will just remain open so families can share their story, and it just makes it a lot easier for the stories to get to the people who need them to file, who are working with the OCR, and kind of trying to encourage OCR to make a decision to open investigation. So we'll keep you posted on that and blast out the link all over once we get it finalized.
Okay, and I want to thank whoever just put in the chat the actual complaint itself. We also have that in the action list that was shared earlier, and we'll, again, share a lot of things to try to keep everybody connected. Now, I'm noticing some